All right, guys, I am here still at Happy Jewelers with my buddy Danny and Jordan, and we're going to be doing something a little different today. So I think much to their chagrin, I am here to showcase not only their fine establishment and all of their products that they would hope that I help them sell to you. No, today we're going to be talking about watches I absolutely hate. All right, so these are ones that I don't know if they'll ever be able to move, honestly. I'm joking. But jokes aside, some watchmakers have made watches that people love to hate, and they've made watches that people simply love no matter what. There's just no denying that in the watch world, there's ugly ducklings and perpetual favorites, and we're going to go over all of those today. Much like, I will say, that's right, a Nautilus. Right, Patek,
5711.
And this is the 5711. So this is the watch to get. And it doesn't matter what was done to this dial, doesn't matter what complication this watch received, the Nautilus was loved.
It's their pride and joy.
It's their pride and joy, right? But could there be something that Patek has done recently that was not as well received? Well, we're going to be talking about that today. This is a watch that I know some people here absolutely love, myself included. Okay, people were mad. Do you want to talk about this watch real quick?
I love this watch. This was my first Patek, the 5212A weekly calendar.
Traded it into me.
Traded it in because, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. But one thing that makes it special, first of all, it's in steel. Okay, a lot of Patek, most of their production, I'd say less than 20% is actually in steel. It's usually in the sports models.
And I'm going to go down bullet points why this was hated.
Yeah. Well, it's controversial, especially the handwritten font.
Right.
Some people are hit and miss with that. I find it really nice. The original design, they did it in the handwritten font, and they were going to change it to a contemporary look, like a more machine finish.
Like a typeset
But they
font.
kept it in the handwritten font style. I really like it. It's a nice touch, but not everyone loves it. It's got the black polished finish, the hour markers and the hands. But one thing really special, I was telling you, when I went to Watch Time New York, I met Kari Voutilainen. And one thing that he pointed out with this watch that makes it very special is that all 5 hands are stacked on the same pinion.
Which is rare.
Yes, to get that, to work out the engineering where they're all on a different gearing. It's very difficult to pull this off. You usually see 3 hands stacked or 4, but to add the 5th one adds a lot of complication. And, just Patek in general, it's the king of complication. There's so much love for that Nautilus, time only, but the real essence of the brand is in the complication.
But you would argue now this watch is pretty well loved.
Yeah. I mean, when it first came out and was going over retail, I wouldn't say most people love it. It's maybe 50-50.
Okay, I'm going to run this down for you guys, okay? People hated that it was ever associated with the Calatrava line. They did not like that. They didn't like that it wasn't precious metal. They didn't like that it was very busy, and they didn't like the handwritten font.
But why would it have it associated with the Calatrava line?
I don't know, but I think it's because it may be too complicated for the Calatrava line. Calatrava.
Technically speaking, it is a Calatrava.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But he's saying, why wouldn't it be?
Oh, sure.
I think people didn't like that it wasn't precious metal. People didn't like that it was overly complicated.
It's a stainless steel watch. It has a casual feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, is it a dress watch? It is, but it's
something you could wear day to day.
More daily, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's more daily than dressy.
And if you look at the auction results, the stainless steel do best over time.
Always,
always,
no matter what. It's in any brand.
Yeah,
stainless steel.
Super wearable, kind of under the radar. I think that people that don't know what it is won't bother you, and I think that that's kind of a plus.
Yeah.
Another episode that we did recently was talking and comparing different day dates. Those doesn't really matter. People are like, that is a beacon on your wrist. Whereas this on a leather strap, it's like, oh, that's, who knows? It could be a Daniel Wellington. I'm joking.
Do you think it's funny? It's not funny!
Anyway, moving on. We have a Nautilus. Everyone loves it regardless. This, people have come around to it, but this was very controversial. We're going to go down the line to something even more controversial. So sticking in the theme of Holy Trinity, not everything we're going to talk about today is Holy Trinity, but APRO, right?
You really don't like the Royal Oaks?
Well, here's the thing. I think that especially when they came out, I'll say like 4 or 5 years ago with the Champagne Jumbo, like they called it salmon dial, but it wasn't really that salmon.
Yeah.
I really liked that. The one thing that I didn't like about, or that I don't like about the AP Royal Oaks is that this is kind of the Black Bay of AP. Whereas AP only makes different iterations of the Royal Oak,
It's like
right?
a one-line brand.
Right? But here's the thing. I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot here because I'm complaining, oh, AP only makes Royal Oaks. AP only makes Royal Oaks. And then they make something like this, the Code series. So they do something very different than a Royal Oak. And then I bitch and moan still. Okay? So what I'm arguing is that everyone loves the Royal Oak. Royal Oak can do no wrong. This, though, everyone hated, and I think people still hate.
It's still so new, though, you know? And that's one thing to consider with all these is, like, if you look at when they first came out, even the Nautilus, you could go into the store and buy it. You know, it's not like when it first came out, it was a big hit.
Look, I'll explain to you what the code is, right?
Okay.
So if you walk into Patek and you want a big complication, a 5270 art Patek, it's going to cost you $260,000, $270,000. You walk out and you go try to sell it, you're going to lose, right? It's not that people hate it. I actually do well with the codes, but it's not a watch that's going to go over retail.
Interesting.
Like, have you ever seen a Code Turb or
Yes.
Perpetual?
Yeah.
Or like the Star Wheel? We just had a Star Wheel. Jordan actually just sold one recently. It is probably the prettiest watch, but it goes back to that in all these brands, right? You have those dress watches. It's not going to be as many people that are willing to
Interesting.
$250,000 on a dress watch. So it's supply and demand.
So you're saying that this is the more accessible line for AP?
It's the more accessible line for AP, and it's also one of those ones where if you buy it, you're going to take a huge hit on it. But in the gray market, for people like us, you know, a Turb Code 1159 that retails for $220,000, you come to us at 125, 130, that product is selling.
Starts looking a lot more desirable.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. To kind of, I don't know, give it its accolades, there are some redeeming features of this watch. When you get it in hand, you do see, like, the futuristic hollow lugs. Looks very cool. It is a very clean dial. I think that there was kind of a misstep with the offset date window. I think that this watch, they're going for a very symmetrical, kind of very clean look. So having something offset looks kind of wonky in this regard.
This code is not the prettiest of them.
Right. Now, the tourbillon looks crazy, but it's because you're focused on the tourbillon.
You know what? You want to know something funny? I actually had a Code 1159 that I had as a personal watch for a really long time. I bought it from a buddy of mine when things were going crazy, right? I was like, you know what? I bought 2 watches with it, and I promised him I wouldn't sell it. And when I wore the Code 1159, it was a rose gold with the black ceramic sides. So it was full rose gold chrono. It had the black ceramic sides on the side of it. I got more compliments on that than any Richard Mille I won.
That's interesting.
That's one thing that's cool, though, about the Code 1159 is the use of that mid case. They can use different materials. You know? Like on that Code 1159, the Star Wheel, it has the black ceramic mid case.
And I would argue one of the reasons that the Code series exists is so that they can take risks with design that they won't put on their flagship line.
I was just looking this up.
A Royal Oak.
We were just talking about this. What
this blew my mind, by the way.
Most people don't know this. I didn't know this. So Code 1159. So everyone knows 1159, just before midnight. But the code itself,
CODE,
stands for the brand's core values: challenging, owning, daring, and evolving. Have you heard that?
Dude, and we were laughing because I guarantee you they came up with Code 1159, and then after the fact they were like, wait, we could use this. They did that after, okay? But yeah, I think that there are some redeeming qualities. Unfortunately, this one, if you can call it base, is kind of a base version of it. You are getting a date. It's not Bauhaus. I wouldn't say Bauhaus, but, you know, stick handset, very, very linear. I think the hollow lugs are cool, but there's no arguing that this is the loved sibling and this is the one that's...
So just the aftermarket pricing plays a huge factor in it. Like,
Absolutely.
Once people see, it's going over, they like it more.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
There's like a certain momentum to that. And just generally speaking here, there's still a lot of tailwind with, sports watches with the integrated bracelet. Sorry.
That's the only reason that the Land Dweller exists.
Sure.
So it's trends and everything. But Okay, now, speaking of integrated bracelets, we're going to be talking about probably the most controversial pair, period, okay? So we're going to be starting off here with a watch that I've taken a look at here before, but in the Pepto Pink. This is the Tudor Black Bay Chrono in pink. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, this is the one that everyone hates. No. This is really well loved, actually.
Very hot.
Like, the second this was released, everyone's scooping them up.
Yeah. They're going way over retail. Impossible to get at the AD. It's definitely like a unicorn piece. You know?
Right.
There was a lot of hype, with David Beckham and the Miami FC club.
Yes.
There's a lot of hype there.
Yeah.
But it's been well received. And they have the blue one, too.
Yes, the boutique edition.
Yeah.
Or the, yeah.
It's like a Tiffany blue color.
No. The powder blue. Yes, Tiffany blue. Yes, for this. Now, what I was going to say is, I think if you do want color on one of these, you go for the boutique blue, which is like that deep blue. But you do have the Tiffany and this. And this one, they can't keep on the shelves. I'm surprised they even had this one here. But this one's the well-loved one. Now, we're going to be talking about perhaps the most hated watch, definitely in the store, but perhaps like in existence. Dude, do you want to talk about this Tudor?
T01, baby.
Dude.
Very controversial.
I remember making a video when this was announced, talking about how, wow, Tudor made a Seiko. And people lost their minds trying to defend this. Seeing the mental gymnastics of people trying to defend this Tudor, even though it is hideous. Listen, I've come around, okay, to Tudor as a brand. There are a lot of Tudors that I would love to wear. I'm probably going to own, I'm probably going to purchase from Happy Jewelers, not the pink one, but definitely a Black Bay Chrono at some point. But this watch, dude, what is going on with like the pseudo integrated bracelet, the lugs that are going onto the bezel? Like, what is this?
There's a lot going on. There's a watch for everyone. I think some people might like this, but definitely the masses are torn. A lot of people are kind of saying, what's going on here?
So right now, I think we can say definitely Black Bays in general are the loved sibling for Tudor. But this one, the P01, is easily the most hated. And it's funny because when you look at Tudor's catalog from the past, right, they've had some hits and some misses. And I would say that the North Flag is very polarizing. Mm-hmm. I love the North Flag. I love it. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
If you put a North Flag next to this, the North Flag looks like a supermodel. Like, it looks like gorgeous. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, how long has this been here, and do you think you're going to move it?
Got it. It'll definitely move. Everything moves.
Everything moves here at Happy Jewelers, baby.
$3,300. It's very, you get a lot of value. It's still a Tudor. It's just, the design is a little
There's nothing mechanically wrong with it, right? It's a solid watch.
Some people just like a watch that's different. They want to have something that's off the beaten path. That definitely fills the box.
I'm going to be honest. The person who's wearing this probably also is wearing a code series.
It could be. It could be.
But guys, there you have it. There's some watches everyone loves. There's some watches everyone loves to hate. And you know what? You don't have to follow the rules at all. Some of you guys, I'm sure, hate the watches that I said that people love. And I'm sure some of you guys love the watches that I said everyone hates. And that's what makes the watch collecting world go round. Thank you, Happy Jewelers. Jordan,
hey,
you rock.
My pleasure.
And we'll be back with more content here at Happy Jewelers real soon. Again, we are in OC. This is Fullerton, correct? Fullerton, California, baby. If you're in SoCal and you're going to Disneyland, right, and hop, skip, and a jump away, why don't you stop here and buy yourself a watch? And stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Remember, I didn't invent time.
I just tell it.
Hell yes.
Where you're watching.
Hell yes. Hell yes.